28th of October. Now, on this day in 1886, US President Grover Cleveland unveiled the Statue of Liberty, which was a gift of friendship from France to the United States. Working wonders for the Tourist Board of Wakefield, it's our own Angel of the North, Jane McDonald. Making a landmark return to your lunchtime, she's certainly an attraction. It's Lynda Bellingham. Foundations get a bit shaky after a couple of beers. It's the Leaning Tower of Carol McGiffin. And here to guide you around these familiar sights, it's me, Jackie Brambles. In the Loose Lounge today, it's Colleen's big sister and star of stage and screen, Bernie Nolan, and from sisterly love to a neighbourly one, popping up in Emmerdale tonight, it's everyone's favourite guy next door, Mark Little. Today, should shops put larger mannequins in shop windows? Would it help sell more clothes and make women feel better about themselves? Let us know what you think. We're running a poll on the Loose Women website today. Do you want to see bigger mannequins in shop windows? Vote yes or no by logging onto our website. That's www.itv.com/loosewomen. Let us know and we'll bring you the results at the end of the show. But before all that, we're saying a big welcome back to Lynda Bellingham.
Oh, hello! I've missed you. I have missed you all.
Where have you been since we last saw you?
I've been to Glasgow, Bradford, Edinburgh, Manchester. But the thing, I have to tell you, you know, what's really nice, because I think we forget London thinks it's the only place in the world to be. Everybody's so nice, you know, up north.
Well,
and they
we
come up to
are.
you in the streets and they say how much they love loose women, and it's really lovely, actually.
They do that in London as well.
Yeah, but they're always a bit kind of cool in London. They don't want to tell you. They kind
what
of
time of night it is.
Well, that's true. Yes, if the pubs have shut or not. That's right. But the good news is that we're coming to the West End on April the 3rd.
How fantastic!
Yes, the Noel Coward Theatre. Me and Noel Coward like that.
Do you know, there are so many people out there who've seen you already in that play thinking, oh, I didn't recognise her with her clothes on.
How are you... now that you're into the run of it and you've been doing it for a good few weeks, how are you feeling about the sort of the getting naked on stage?
I don't feel much better, really. And, in fact, you know, and frankly, you know, some people think I must diet and I must exercise. The more I do it, the more chocolate I eat. I do. I think, oh, God, I've got to go on tonight. Oh, I better have a bit more chocolate. I need it for the energy. And then I get to the moment where I do it and I think, oh, dear, there's that chocolate bar.
Let's have a little look here. Here she is in action.
But that, you see, that's quite nice because you can't really see much there at all. In the play, I have to wear this thing that's kind of made of orchids, and it's a bit like they've made it like a bikini, so it goes. So I've got a bit of a thong at the back.
Ooh,
and where the thong at the back is the stalk from the plastic orchid. And every night I get a bit of a treat.
How about the loose girls as calendar girls? What do we think? What do we think? There we are.
Oh, I say.
Oh, yes, look at that.
How about our Jane?
Trust me to be sat doing knitting.
Carol, here you go. Nice. Give you a bit of a laugh.
Do you know, that's best I've looked in ages. Fantastic.
OK, in the news today, comedians and presenters Russell Brand and Jonathan Ross have landed themselves in very hot water over a prank message they left on the answer phone of veteran comedy star Andrew Sachs. In the message that was later broadcast on Russell Brand's BBC Radio 2 show, they made lewd and suggestive comments about Andrew Sachs' granddaughter Georgina. Now, the BBC have since apologised, but is this cruel? Is it crude? Or is it comedy? And is humour ever an excuse for playing pranks at other people's expense? Is that OK, Jane?
No, because it was directed at Andrew Sachs, who is a very well-respected actor in this country, and I think it was cruel. It was not big, it was not clever, and I'm glad that there's so much fuss being made about this, because it's disrespectful. Disrespectful. I don't think there's any need for it, and the thing is, these are such good comics, and that is the... I can't believe they've just gone over the line.
You've finally seen light. Then that's the whole point. They're not funny. They aren't funny.
Well, you might not think they're funny, but they've got a huge following.
But Jonathan Ross hasn't got a following as a comic, has he? He's a chat show host.
Well, he's a chat show
funny.
host
No, he is
who has
funny.
a sort of a lighter touch, doesn't he? And he's sort of people think he is funny on his chat show.
Yeah.
So, but I think there are. But I do think there are. I think even the people who like them, and I like both of them as comedians, but I think they've kind of gone over the line on this one.
Well,
It's two adolescent boys who've got together, forgotten themselves, and
childish.
and done something stupid.
Childish. It is very childish, but the coverage and the fuss, I think, is completely out of proportion. You know, there's so much important stuff going on in the world, and this is on the front page of every newspaper, and it happened on Saturday night, I think.
Do you think?
But I tell you what,
Tuesday.
I tell you why
And I tell
it's
you,
good.
hang on a minute, hang on. And I listen to that show all the time, right, Russell Brand, funnily enough. I podcast it, and I do like to listen to it, and it is funny, and it does make me laugh. And when we were talking about this earlier, I thought, oh, yeah, it was a bit, you know, bad judgment, and it probably was. But now my friends phoned me up, and she said, it's really funny. Make sure you listen to it. And now I can't wait to get home and listen to my podcast, frankly.
Yeah, but
So does that mean that
is...
it's OK to have humour at any cost? Doesn't matter who pays the price, doesn't matter that he was talking about, you know, his granddaughter who's a private citizen?
No, it's not. It's disrespectful. It's an elder, as I said, most respected person. This was about a member of his family. It's insulting and it should be stopped. It's absolutely outrageous.
It was naughty. It was naughty. They got a little bit out of control and they said some things they probably shouldn't have.
In front of millions of people, whoever's listening to that is disrespectful, Carol.
Don't you think that when you've been in this business as long as Jonathan Ross has, it's time to have a bit of, you know, a bit of responsibility and a bit of discipline, which would probably help his act too a bit more if he was a bit more disciplined.
But do you think for you, Lynda, is there a line in comedy? Is there sort of certain types of comedy you do like, certain types you don't like?
I think comedy that involves taking the mickey and being cruel to other people is a bit like bullying. You know, it's ever so easy to be funny off the back of somebody else. It's much harder to be witty and funny, or against yourself. You fall on the banana skin to put... The point is that the comedy, this kind of comedy, where somebody can't answer back, you know, it's not right. It's a very lazy way of getting humour out of a situation, personally speaking. What I think is good about it getting coverage is that it's the old thing, you know, people go too far sometimes, Carol, and sometimes the minority, as we all are now, it would seem, need to fight back and say, actually...
Don't tell me that you don't laugh at other people's misfortune. I agree. I don't want people who are vulnerable and people who can't fight for themselves and defend themselves being picked on for the sake of comedy. But what I'm saying is, other people's misfortune is quite funny. You know, the way you're saying it is like, oh, even Candy Camera and Game for Life and things like that are not funny.
No, I'm not saying that.
They are funny
No,
because they're
that.
jokes. You know, if you've lost your sense of humour, that's your problem.
That's different. That's completely different. If somebody rang your home and left you a lewd message on your answer machine, how great would you feel about that?
I might quite like